What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading, back at it again with another crypto market update. Today we've got Cardano, Chainlink, and Algorand. I'm sure you're all wondering what's going on with these cryptos. Are they going to keep pumping? Are they going to start dumping? If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, do keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of these cryptos. Your analysis could be different, and if it is, that's awesome, because the more difference of opinion that we have, the better traders and the better investors we're all going to become. So guys, I was pleasantly surprised, starting with Cardano, I was pleasantly surprised to see that Cardano has been talking a lot about stablecoins all of a sudden, specifically understanding ecosystem stablecoin liquidity. If you've been keeping up with my updates here around Cardano, you'll know that I've been underscoring the fact that like the one thing that I think is going to take ADA to new all-time highs and is going to cause a huge pump in ADA in altcoins in Cardano's ecosystem is going to be basically people borrowing stablecoins against ADA and DeFi. Of course, some of you will know that during the previous cycle, Cardano's DeFi ecosystem was not very, let's say, built out. It wasn't very advanced compared to something like Ethereum or even Solana at the time. But obviously, since that time, Cardano's DeFi ecosystem has evolved a lot. And now you're going to see a lot more on-chain activity and specifically a lot more on-chain borrowing. And this, I just really want to drive things home here, guys. Just take a look that Cardano's market cap is in the double-digit billions. It's currently around 24 billion. If even a small percentage of that is used as collateral to borrow stablecoins to invest in other altcoins in Cardano's ecosystem, like not only will ADA pump, but so will the altcoins. And in ADA's case, we could see a scenario where people are borrowing against ADA to buy more ADA, right, and basically doubling up. That's something I'm sure is going to happen a lot as well. And if we actually look here, guys, at Cardano on DeFi Llama, I actually have the stablecoin chart here enabled as well, and you can see that there's been a huge spike in stablecoin market cap over the last couple of months here, specifically since late March, even though Cardano's TVL has gone down. And what's really interesting, guys, is that this price action reminds me, and again, it's a little bit too soon to say, but the last time we saw a deviation like this, where there was a spike in stablecoin market cap, but Cardano's DeFi TVL was kind of like still grinding along the bottom, was late last year, just before ADA went parabolic. Okay, and I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen again, but I actually do think it could, because again, like it makes kind of sense to me that what you could be seeing is that people have deposited their ADA, they've been borrowing the stable coins, and they're just kind of waiting for the right time to deploy that capital, if that makes any sense. That's possibly what's been happening, and it's possible that we saw a smaller version of that late last year, just before ADA took off, and we're about to see an even bigger version of that. And you can see that, like, if I just remove the stable coins here, you can see that ADA's TVL has been climbing, like every single wave, it's been bigger and bigger and bigger. And the next wave is probably going to be even bigger. And again, a lot of that is going to come, I think, from stable coins and a lot of DeFi activity. So this is what has me really excited about not just ADA, but especially altcoins in Cardano's ecosystem, which are massively undervalued relative to ADA, like in terms of market cap. Anyways, turning over to the chart now, of course, many of you will know that I've been watching this Bollinger Band moving average on the weekly for ADA. I do think that's a level that's going to be hit soon. I was expecting it to be hit sometime earlier, basically around this time or late last week. Looks like it'll take a little bit longer. Crypto tends to be like that. No worries at all. This chart is looking really good, and it looks even better if we actually zoom in onto the daily. You can see here, guys, and it's a little bit, maybe I can even draw it out so it's a little bit clearer for you guys to see, well, basically, I'll just highlight it with my mouse here. You can see that we kind of have like an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming here, where you have like one shoulder, the head, and then the other shoulder here on the other side. And that basically foreshadows a small rally somewhere up to the 80-cent range, small rally, you're looking at around 22% or 20%. And that's, again, consistent with the Bollinger Band moving average here on the weekly. And I do think ADA will at least retest this level. It has not yet really retested this level ever since it started grinding lower. Yeah, there was a little bit of this, a bit of a speculative pump around Trump's altcoin reserve stuff, but minus that altcoin reserve pump, we have not yet seen a retest of this level, and altcoins will at least retest this level. And of course, there'll probably be a little bit of rejection after that, and people will say it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over for real this time. We promise, guys. Time to sell everything, and then ADA will just keep recovering, break above that level, and just head to new all-time highs. Which again, I do think that ADA will probably hit somewhere around $4 to $5 over the summer, and I do think that DeFi is going to be a huge driver of that price action. Anyways, guys, as you might have noticed, we were using Binance there. The Coin Bureau CoinBureau deals page is an up to 20% trading fee discount and up to $600 of bonuses. That's the biggest Binance deal you can get. It's available exclusively through the CoinBureau. Taking advantage of the deal is super simple. Just click that sign up now button down in the description or in the comments. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. Just enter your email or phone number. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. Binance has every single crypto you could possibly need, ADA and all the others. If you're not able to use Binance for whatever reason, we do have deals on other exchanges that are available to US and UK users, like Arkham Exchange in the case of US users. And we also have a whole bunch of hardware wallets where you can keep your ADA safe. Deals on hardware wallets. We don't offer a hardware wallet personally. If you see anyone offering a CoinBureau hardware wallet, that's probably a scam. But we do offer deals to hardware wallets where you can keep your ADA safe. So do take advantage of those deals using the link down in the description before it's too late. Moving on now to Chainlink. Some of you might have heard that Chainlink has just announced a new basically staking reward program. To my understanding, what's pretty interesting is that these staking rewards will come in the form of other tokens rather than Link, which is super fascinating. But regardless, what's really interesting is that we're going to see the launch of the staking program on May 8th. And, think about this logically for a second. Okay, so you know that on May 8th, if you're staking Link, eligible Link stakers, I haven't looked too much in the details there, but basically, certain people will be looking at this and thinking, okay, starting May 8th, I can basically earn a yield again on my Link. And it'll come in the form of various tokens, which could appreciate in value. And in my opinion, actually, guys, and just as a quick side note, I actually do think it kind of makes sense that Chainlink is doing the rewards in this way. And that's because if you're just giving Link to Link stakers and they're going to just sell it, this is actually something I think I've underscored in a previous video, is that the kind of supply demand equation for Link, and the same is true for most cryptos for that matter, it kind of cancels out as like in the short term, yes, it causes a lot of buying, but then eventually that Link gets sold because these the Oracle nodes, they have to they can't use Link to pay for goods and services, right? They have to convert that into fiat. So then anyone who's buying Link to pay for Oracle services or other services, eventually the people who get that Link need to sell it for fiat so they can actually keep operations up and running. But in this case, what you're doing is you're basically giving an incentive to people to buy Link, and then you're giving them other tokens which will obviously be sold, but that will have no impact on Link's price, right? So in this case, you're actually doing something that is a net positive for the demand side of Link's equation, which is super fascinating. Very subtle thing. Really want to point that out because I do think it'll be a contributing factor to Link's pump here in the coming days. Just like with ADA, just like with most altcoins, I'm looking at the Bollinger Band moving average on the weekly here for Link, somewhere around $17. That would be around a 25% gain from the current price. If we zoom into the daily, same thing as we saw with ADA. It's a little bit clearer here. Inverse head and shoulders, one shoulder, head, other shoulder. You take the measurement there, you're looking at a rally, lo and behold, up to around $17, $18, right? And we can see even if we zoom out that there's a lot of resistance somewhere here around that $17.5, $18 range. So chances are that this is roughly where Link is going to rally to. And again, that's around a 25% gain from here. And I do think that's going to happen soon. Exactly when is that going to happen? Obviously, no one can say that for sure. I thought it would have happened by now, but who knows? Maybe tomorrow's Fed meeting will be the catalyst for this, or it could be something else. We'll just have to wait and see. But I am eyeing that level, and again, Link has not had a retest of that level ever since it fell below it, and we at least need to see a retest of that. Then there'll probably be a small rejection. Everyone will say it's over for real this time, and then Link will get back above that level and just keep powering higher. And who knows? Maybe we'll have like a massive kind of like a double bottom or some kind of pattern here forming, right? Anyways, moving on now, guys, to Algorand. So this is where things get really interesting. I've been mentioning for a few weeks now that Algorand is more and more positioning itself as kind of like an RWA chain. And why is this so important? Because yesterday, I believe, at the SEC, the SEC announced that they're going to be hosting basically a roundtable about real-world asset tokenization on May 12th. So that's a date to kind of burn into your brain as a potential day where we could see a rally in RWA-related cryptos, including ALGO. And maybe that'll also be the catalyst that takes Link higher, because obviously Chainlink is used for to basically power the price feeds for all these on-chain assets, real-world assets, right? So it's possible that could also be the catalyst that takes Link higher. Does that mean we're going to be waiting for another week? Maybe another 6 days or so. I'm sure you guys can survive if you've been waiting the last 6 months, for the pumps to come. But in all seriousness, zooming in now to Algo, guys, on the weekly, same idea. I do think Algo is going to rally up to the Bollinger Band moving average on the weekly around 26 cents, so roughly a 30% gain from the current price. I actually didn't check this before, but I'm not surprised at all. Zooming into the daily, we can see again inverse head and shoulders pattern forming here. One shoulder, head, other shoulder, and of course a measured move would take us up somewhere to this 28 cent or 20 28-cent range roughly, so around a 30% gain. And even zooming out further, guys, we can see that there's probably going to be lots of resistance somewhere around here, 26 cents. So again, consistent with the Bollinger Band moving average on the weekly, which is somewhere around 26 cents. And again, I do think that's going to be hit sooner rather than later. I think that's going to get a lot of people excited. Then we'll have the rejection. Everyone will say it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over for real this time. I'm going to repeat that in every video, by the way, guys, because I just want to really burn into your brain the narrative that's going to come. They're going to say it's over for real this time, and then algo will bounce back above that probably by the end of the month, above that level by the end of the month, and then we'll see algo powering higher over the summer. Same thing with ADA, same thing with Link, same thing with most altcoins. So yeah, guys, just be patient. I know this drawdown over the last whatever it is here, basically 5 or 6 months has been absolutely brutal. It's been really tough to hold through this. Easy to forget that algo is still kind of in a long-term uptrend since 2023. Yeah, that uptrend isn't as strong, it's not as clear to see as in other cryptos like Bitcoin. But clearly, the lows, the absolute lows were sometime in 2023, and it's been slowly grinding its way higher, and eventually we will get that parabolic move that that we're all used to seeing here. And I do think that's going to come again sometime over the summer. Anyways, guys, if you did make it this far and you did find that information helpful, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.